Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to episode 39 of my podcast, The Public Affair. I'm really excited to do this episode, redo this episode, of course, and I'll let you know who I have in just a second. But before we get started, I want to thank you all so much for all your support with The Public Affair, watching, sharing, subscribing. Make sure you subscribe if you don't. I love you all so much. And of course, shout out to Rogue Media Network with my boy Mike Hamilton. He's the best. I love you, Mike. All right, so before we get started with my special guest, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to you by Arjon Painting with my boy Juan Arjon. He's a family-owned local paint company that specializes in residential homes, both interior and exterior. He has the best quality guaranteed. And if you need your home painted, I don't know why you're going to call anybody else except my boy Juan Arjon, who's also like the funnest person in the world. I love him. Juan, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Of course, to Midway Nutrition with my boy Marcos Cordero. He's located on Hewitt Drive and has meal replacement shakes with tons of different flavors. I recently had this apple flavor that is like absolutely delicious. And you guys have got to get it. It's really great. So if you're looking for more of a healthier meal replacement, make sure you hit up Midway Nutrition with Marcos Cordero. He also has Waco Nutrition and Energy on Spate, you know, if you guys live in that side of town. So thank you so much, Marcos. I appreciate you. To B&J Refinishing with Frank Biza. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. Offers 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. Frank is seriously the best. Big entrepreneur because he also has Co-Town Tint, which focuses on mobile tint and detailing. He offers the best high quality film and products and will be all competitor prices. So if you need any of that stuff done, make sure you hit up my boy Frank Biza with Co-Town Tint or B&J Refinishing. Thank you guys so much. To Jeffrey Monreal with Pollo Box and Audio, Public Affair alumni. I loved him. He focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. A jack of all trades. Jeffrey can do anything. Love Jeffrey so much. Thank you for sponsoring. To David Santabanez with Alinea Real Estate. He's the #1 sales agent in his office. He'll help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea, or call the number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. And of course, the Four Brother Construction with Joe Olvera. He provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on plumbing, roofing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more. Joe is the best. I love Joe. Make sure you call the number on the screen if you need any of that work done. Thank you so much for sponsoring with Four Brothers Construction. And of course, to my girl, Destiny Stead with Destiny's Desires. She's a local foodie giving her review about all local owned food places, the good and the bad, darling. Make sure you follow at Destiny's Desires on Facebook to get the best reviews about a restaurant near you. Destiny, thank you so much for sponsoring The Public Affair. More to come later. All right, guys, that takes a lot out of me. I'm really excited for this episode. We recorded this episode before. We had to scrap it, which we'll get into in just a minute. And I really wanted the opportunity for him to really tell his story because it was really great. And I think that you guys, some people are really going to be touched by it. And I'm just really excited to have this guy here. So without further ado, here to tell his story about growing up in Waco as an immigrant and ultimately landing in an immigration prison and how life was afterwards. And also my very first sponsor of The Public Affair and good friend, Mr. Israel Salazar. How you doing?
How you doing, Andrew? It's gotten big since Francisco and Sons.
Huh? Can you imagine?
Yeah, you used to have to say my name and one number. That was it. Now you're here giving
now I have 20 sponsors.
Hey, that's great, man.
I have to take a deep breath when I do.
What did I tell you that day we had lunch? That
you did. You said it was going to get big, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's just like I said, this is the first few steps of so many, man. Like, you got a long way to go, and just like the both of us got a long way to go.
Man, I really appreciate it, and I really wanted to thank you because you were the first sponsor ever of The Public Affair with Fransisco and Sons, and I think that it really opened the door for a lot of other sponsors to kind of reach out to me and say, oh, he's doing that on his show, I want to do that too. So I really want to thank you so much for believing in this podcast that much so early on, and really all the sponsorship that you did in the very beginning. It really means a lot. It'll never go unnoticed, so thank you.
Oh yeah, man. It was I just saw the potential that you had on your show, man. You were just starting up, and we were just starting up, so I wanted to be in that too, and it worked out a lot. I know it helped you out and it helped me out too, and I'm glad we're here now, man, to where we're at. I'm here.
Fist bump that.
Man.
How is Fransisco and Sons doing?
They're pretty good, man. We're growing every day, man. I love the way I love the position we're at now. We're not where we want to be, but as far as work, man, it's coming, and I'm glad that we're able to be where we're at, man.
I feel you. Well, I'm really happy to hear that. And when I build my house, I want you to build me a nice metal building, so that way I'm gonna make it my playroom.
Oh yeah, I'll put anything you want in there.
Red lights, yes, please, everything. I want a swing. No disco lights. I need a red light. And make sure you put a nice swing in there, so because I'm more flexible now. So soccer coming. So anyway, well, Israel, thank you again for coming. I wanted to reinvite you onto the show because we had to scrap you saw the recording I sent you. Yeah. It was I will say, in defense, this new studio was just being like built, I guess, or we were just kind of starting things, so it wasn't as nice as it is now.
Yeah, no, I guess it was our own fault for rushing. We should have waited.
We should have waited. We should have definitely waited. And big shout out to my producer Mike, because we ended up recording with Jeffrey Monreal, making that episode 34, and he belted that out in 5-6 hours. It was so great.
Yeah, they did a great job at pulling that out in one day, man. I was surprised. When you told me you recorded that day, I was like, how did that? It takes you about a week to do the others.
Well, I tell everybody because it's true that I am a few episodes ahead of the game. So when people see this, it'll be like 2-3 weeks later. Mm-hmm. And with Jeffrey's, that was like the only one where I was like, we're recording today and releasing tomorrow. It has to be tomorrow.
Yeah, because you already have them labeled ahead of time.
So. And you know what? We would have been able to do it so much more before had the stupid snowstorm wasn't here, and he would have been able to like catch all that right. Everything was just last minute. But I think it's situational, because now you know what to expect. I really want everybody to hear your story. Like I think that some things were out of your control, and I think a lot of people are going to be touched by it. You know what I mean? This is going to be one of my other serious episodes, but of course I'm going to make it cute and fun. You know what I mean? Sure. So Israel, for people who may not know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us where you're from and all that, and life growing up.
Well, my name is Israel Salazar.
My boy.
Some of y'all know my boy. We met playing kickball, and we have to get another game going.
Oh, we met playing kickball. I was with Sid. Okay, I was scared. I just got glasses.
Hey, man.
I didn't want them to break. They were like $300. I was like, no.
You had to running with your glasses.
Okay, yeah, I was that, and the ball was coming to me. I was like, no, fuck that.
I remember you kicking the ball and telling somebody, hold my glasses so I can run.
I was scared. I just started wearing glasses, but anyway, besides the point.
No, yeah, and I was born in San Luis Potosí, Mexico.
I'm banned. Go ahead.
And when he's banned, yeah. I don't want to know why. I'm not gonna ask questions when I go over there.
You can watch one of the episodes of The Public Affair. You'll find out why.
They have his picture up before you go in. They have his picture up.
Do not enter. And it's my picture. It's this picture.
It's that picture right there. No, man. Yeah, I was born in San Luis Potosí. I was brought over here when I was 5 years old, and I've been here ever since, man. And,
okay.
I went to school here. I graduated here in Waco, Waco High School.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to all the
shout out to North Waco.
North Waco.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. That's basically it, man. I've been here all my life, man.
Yeah. Now, who owns Fransisco and Sons? Is that you? Is that your dad, or how does that work?
What started Fransisco and Sons is because it's me and my brother Cleo.
Oh, okay.
And my dad started everything, back when he came here to the United States. Yeah. So I wanted to keep that like original, because he's the one that started everything with the plan.
Is he Francisco?
Yes, sir.
And y'all are the sons.
Yes, sir.
You have to say yes, sir. We're the same age. Okay.
I'm just used to talking to all the owners of the houses and stuff. You got to talk to them up.
I'm the owner of The Public Affair, but you only call me sir in one of these situations. I'm not trying to get beat up by Tyler. So
shout out to my wife.
I love Tyler.
No, and yeah, man. I wanted to keep it original. With my dad, he started. He didn't start with us at first. It was just me and my brother. Yeah. We were doing little side jobs, and he's been at a company. He was at a company for 20 years.
Right. And
he was still kind of scared to get out because it's scary. It's tough to start a business.
For sure.
You gotta have a lot of. You gotta have a lot of. You gotta have a lot to make it, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people give up on the. As soon as they say, "Oh, we're not making any profits." Let's give it up.
Just throw it to the side.
Yeah. And what a lot of people don't know is it takes money to make money. You gotta start. Sure. You gotta start making.
I say it all the time.
Yeah,
for sure. And this podcast ain't cheap.
I hear you. And that's why I wanted to. I knew when you brought drinks and stuff. I know that wasn't and to rent out this studio. I know that's not cheap. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I contacted you about sponsorship.
Thank you.
Because I saw what was available for us. For our name to get out there, and your name was going.
In a way, it was just to help each other out. And I at the time, I wasn't even thinking about. Like, how do I pursue getting sponsors or anything? You just reached out and was like, hey, you doing sponsors? I was like, yes, let's do it.
As soon as the first episode.
I could cut a commercial in 1, 2, 3. I work at Power 108, so it's nothing.
I knew Andrew can get my name. I knew if anybody can throw our name out, Andrew can.
Yeah, darling. And shout out to Erkutis. Now, he's your brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Erkutis is a Public Affair veteran, episode 3. It was one of my biggest episodes at the time, and I think that was our first sponsor episode that we did together.
And at this point, who doesn't know Kutis?
For sure. Know him? It's like you can turn around this Kutis. I love Kutis, by the way. Shout out to you, Kutis.
Yeah, he's a great man. He's a real outgoing guy.
Love him. He's also on Lale at Pachangon. So yeah. So yeah, well, I'm really happy to hear that Fransisco and Sons is doing good. So I kind of want everybody to get a backstory before we get into like the logistics of why you're here. I thought that it was very interesting to hear that you spent some time in an immigration prison, but unbeknownst to the fact that you are actually you grew up in Waco. From what I understand, you were 5 years old when you came here.
Yeah, I was out here. That's when we don't even have a choice.
That's what I'm saying. So I just I know it gets really controversial to talk about things like this, and I really try to stay neutral and see both sides of like the argument. Do you see what I'm saying? I think in your situation, it's just that you were here since you were 5, so it's not like you could tell your mom and dad, oh, I'm just gonna stay in the house here in Mexico, and y'all go ahead and risk that. You know what I mean?
And I hear both sides. You know, I hear the sides that, oh, this is like, you know, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Right.
You know, but people don't think about like they only think of themselves, because they say, okay, if you're hungry, you go to HEB, right?
Right.
But what are you gonna do if that HEB near you is closed? You're gonna go to a further one. You know, obviously you're gonna go to a further one. Okay. And that's exactly what people are doing. You know, they can't find anything over there, so they're coming across.
And I will say, because I have been to San Luis Potosí, I went to Damian Carmona Band, and I spent some time in Querétaro as well. And I will say that the places where I stood, and everybody's drive is different, right? Mm-hmm. But I missed things like pressure in my water or flushing the toilet regularly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was able to survive the snowstorm because I spent time in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Imagine that over there.
I was like, okay, let's see. But I mean, imagine that every day. Mm-hmm. And so there were some people who I met that were content with that were like, no, this is my family's here. This is all I need. I don't give a F about any of that. And then there was people that I met that were like, I'm going to the United States like next week because this is nothing out here for me. You know what I mean? And I'm going to risk it out there. So,
I guess it's just the way that you live. You know, some people just get tired of it because like I come from a big family. I have I only have one brother but 4 sisters. You know.
Yeah.
And I guess my dad just got tired of struggling to feed all of us. You know. And I guess that's what made him decide to make the big move over here. Because like a lot of people, when they come to the United States, they have somebody here to wait on them, you know? Say an uncle, a grandpa, or whatever, a brother or something. When my dad came over here, they didn't have anybody. You know, they just came over here, shot in the dark, see if we make it. Right. And we landed here in Waco, and ever since then.
And y'all weren't trying to go to Austin? No, and I love Waco, so let me shut up. Okay, so I know it's great.
We're gonna get a lot of hate for this episode.
No, we're not. Listen, I had anyway. Okay, so.
We're gonna get big in Austin now.
I know, right? Okay, so listen. So you grew up here in Waco, okay? Now, I want you to be honest with us. And you it was a couple years ago, right? Or 3 years ago? How long ago was
2018.
it? Okay, 2018. You were in an immigration prison for almost a year. It was about 8 months, correct?
10 months.
10 months. Yeah. Okay, damn it. Okay. Which I would die. Why don't you tell us why you ended up there and the whole process behind that?
See, what started off, I mean, they didn't send me there for nothing, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I had to be doing something. But
right.
The reason...
Which we'll get into in a minute, okay? Because I don't want anybody to think I'm glorifying prisoners, okay? Yeah. But he has a real story to tell, and it's interesting to me.
Let's start from the beginning. Where, the reason I got arrested was because I was on my way home from work, and I got pulled over, and I got caught with possession of marijuana. Okay. And it was in a work vehicle, you know, so...
Let's make sure we jot that down. Possession of marijuana. Go ahead.
Possession of marijuana. Remember that for the future. I'm foreshadowing.
Okay. And, yeah, you are.
I got pulled over, man, and they arrested me. They took. I didn't know about the marijuana, so I didn't tell them about it. Right. There's nothing in the vehicle. Right. And they found it in a bag in the back seat, and once that I got arrested. And once I got arrested, I guess that sent a chain of events that caused me to go to actual immigration prison. Okay, got you. Because at that time I had the DREAM Act, I had the DACA, which a lot of people have. And they're here for when you come here at a young age. Yeah. You come here to study, you come here to work. Yeah, for sure. They allow you to. They give you the DREAM Act.
Okay, that's the program. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that until people started talking about it.
And that's what.
Don't call me stupid, please. Yeah.
And I was on my first year of that, and then I went to jail here. I went to Highway 6. And I got released here like anybody would. I paid my bond. I got released here. I had to go to court for everything, just like I got put on probation. And once I was on probation, that's when I guess they contacted immigration, and that's when they put my name out there. Right. But that's basically how I got into immigration's radar right there.
Okay, got you. Now the reason why you were on immigration is because you were undocumented at the time, correct? Mm-hmm. Now, are you still undocumented now?
No. Once you get released from immigration, you got to go through courts and systems and that.
Oh, okay.
And they give you a permit to be here and working until you actually get deported or you get your residency.
Now, see, I guess I just didn't understand. You guys have to bear with me here because I have a lot of friends that are Mexican, and I have a friend who went through the process. Well, my best friend went through the process of getting his wife over here legally, and it was a lot of paperwork, and it was a lot of money, and a lot of pictures that you can't smile in, which I would die. And so,
a lot of people say the same thing. Why don't you just get your stuff legit?
It's really not that easy. Listen, after I saw the process, I was like, okay, so what we can do also alternatively is we can fake invite her to a wedding, we go pick her up and never bring her back.
Yeah, there's so much you have to do, man. You got to jump through so many hoops. And I mean, it's always been like that, but it's not as easy as people think. It's not just about signing a piece of paper. Oh, I can come.
You're right. It costs a lot of money. And let me tell you this too. Just a little side note here. When I was coming back from Mexico, I don't know if the guy just thought I was fucking annoying, but it almost seemed as if I could have just brought somebody back, just regular, just stuff them in the trunk. No, seriously, because we were talking, and at the time I didn't have the public affair. I was just on Power 108, and so he was like, "All right, what do y'all do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm Andrew G with Power 108 in Waco, Texas. You know, #1 hit music station. And this is my friend. He cuts grass. And this and that. He was like, just go, just leave." Like, and I told my friend, I was like, my friend at the time, I was like, we could have totally just had somebody in the back. He didn't check us. There was nothing. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, did one of your families want to come? We can go back real quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. What about that hot guy that I got banned from? I'll bring him back. He needs papers. Like, what's up? You know
They'll get me unbanned from San Luis.
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't need to worry about being banned from San Luis because you're about to come live with me and we about to eat steak and lobsters. What's up?
No, yeah, man.
Yeah, but it seemed that easy, but I guess in most cases it's not.
And that's how I crossed. That's how I actually crossed. I was in the back seat.
I'm about to make me some money. I'm about to go make. I have this whole plan divulged in my head. Right?
Yeah, you already have the whole blueprint.
Okay, $100 a piece. Come on, and you buying the food.
But you got to be on my show. But you got to
be on the show. We're gonna talk about the whole thing. It's gonna be great, and we're gonna have a party. Okay, so not to diverse, you talked about the marijuana possession, and I just want to reiterate, you take accountability for that. You realize that is illegal. Even though, I mean, we think that weed should be legal. I don't smoke weed, but I think it should be legal.
See, just because I'm saying it wasn't mine doesn't mean I wasn't involved in the activities of marijuana. So that's I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody else but myself, because I put myself in that situation. I allowed that to be in my vehicle, So as far as that, no, I take accountability.
Now, I just think that, and I want you to be able to have the opportunity to tell the viewers the process of the arrest and what you had to go through over the marijuana charge. So can you walk us through that? Because there's pedophiles that get like a slap on the wrist or get it way worse.
Yeah, see, the first, when I got arrested for marijuana, everything went normal. I went to Highway 6. They released me on bond, and I had to go to court a few months later. Yeah, and they signed probation for me, and I had 18 months of probation, and everything was going good. I was going to my probation. Whenever he requested me, I would show up. I would, he would do drug tests because it was for marijuana, and I would come out clean. Yeah, and then a few months later, out of nowhere, he calls me one day, and he's like, "Hey, man, you need to come today." It was a Friday. He's like, "You need to come today. You need to show up today." And, and I was like, "I'm out of town working, man. I can't make it today." I was like, I'm riding with my boss. I can't be driving. Right. And I can't tell him to put everything up and take me back to Waco. Okay. I was like, I can't make it today. He was like, "No, if you don't make it today, it's a violation."
Is it really like that?
Man, it had never happened to me like that. And
wow,
I was
that's
wondering
crazy.
If they could just request you to come in that day. I'm like, I understand. Come in tomorrow morning. Early tomorrow morning. Come in.
Right. I'll be there at 8:00. Like nothing.
First thing in the morning. Yeah. And I'm not making an excuse to go in a few days later.
You were working though. Yeah, it's not like you were out there partying.
And he knew I was working. He knew where I worked. He knew what I was doing. And man, I told him I'm not gonna make it, man. I'm sorry. I might have to take the violation and just go with it, see what happens, because I have a valid excuse. I'm at work, Okay. And come out Monday. I called him. I was like, "Hey, man, can I reschedule?" And he was like, "No, don't worry about it, man. Just we just show up on your original date." Huh. And I was like, I found that funny. I was like,
little sus.
Yeah, then the little sus. My daughter says. And the next morning, man, my wife's mom picks up our kids to go take them to school out in McGregor. And when she said it was early in the morning, like 6 in the morning, it was still dark, and we lived in some apartments right there by the Michoacana, and we have a long street right there.
Shout out Michoacana.
Ooh,
I bet, anyway.
We'll give a little quick sponsorship right there.
They got that meat that I love. Not to make it inappropriate, though. Like I'm just saying, they do. It's nice and seasoned, and they need papers. Okay, good.
Are we talking about the Michoacana, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we thought we were talking about you. I told you I wasn't trying to get beat up by Tyler. Okay, we'll talk about that between us.
That's coming out.
Okay, that's episode. That's the part 2. No, okay. You were living in the apartments behind the Michoacana.
Man, and she said when she turned on the lights that she saw Durango right there, and then she had some binoculars, man. And as soon as she turned on the lights, that they put them down real quick. Huh. But I lived in some apartments, so I was like, man, it could be anybody else. I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything. Right. But I just, it was just
like you're not causing mischief or anything.
I understand. I had got caught with marijuana, but ever since then I was doing everything.
But wasn't that like 3 years ago? Like
it was about a year and a half.
From the event, it was a year and a half.
A year and a half prior to that.
Yeah, so leave me alone.
And I was doing.
It was marijuana.
I'm not gonna lie. I panicked a little bit because I know about ice. I know how at that time I was reading about all the ice raids that they were doing. Everybody they were getting picked up. Right. And when I went, I was gonna go to work that day, and I was gonna drive, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm not gonna go to work today. I'm just gonna stay home. I'm just in case, Yeah. And come 8:00, I was like, man, you know what? They would have came already knocked down this door or something. If it was something bad,
If it was that serious, like they would have bothered me by now. Okay.
And no, I didn't have any. Not knock on. I just meant knock on the door. Not take down the door.
Good. And I'm really trying to be serious. I just okay.
No, you're fine.
I had a lot of coffee this morning. It's like 11 o'clock right now. Good.
Sometimes you say giggly things.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
No, and yeah, man. And I told Tyler, I was like, you know what? Just take me to work. I'm gonna go to work, but you take me just in case. I don't want to get pulled over with the vehicle and everything.
Now, did you have a license at the time, or you couldn't get a license because you weren't?
I couldn't get a license. I wasn't supposed to be driving, but I was taking a car.
Yeah, but we all do that.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, please. I was driving without a license for like 2 years. Yeah.
I have 2 kids at home. You know, one of them was a newborn. Right. I'm not gonna every time pack the kids up.
Once again, we acknowledge that it's illegal, but sometimes you don't know.
You gotta do to work. And yeah, man. And once we left our parking lot, we left, and I was like, "Do you see the Durango?" She's like, "No, it's not there." And we hit a left right there, going towards the Michoacana and Valley Mills. And once we get to that road, that Durango, like you could hear the Durango pull out the parking lot, but you didn't see it at first. I was like. And she was like, "That's the Durango." I was like, "Man, it's a coincidence. It's not the same Durango. It's another great Durango."
Yeah.
And we turned on right on Valley Mills, man. And once we get on Valley Mills, it gets behind us, and I'm like, "Okay, it's still not for us."
Yeah.
And then I finally tell her, "Hey,
I would have been shitting my pants. I'm sorry."
It's because I never thought it would be for me.
Okay, because you weren't doing anything. Again, the marijuana charge was a year and a half prior. Mm-hmm. You're just working now. You're being a dad. You're being a family man. So you're thinking there's no reason why these people should be pursuing me.
Exactly. Okay. So I'm just like, okay, Tyler, go to the third lane on the left. And she did that, and the Suburban and the Durango stay there. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's a sigh of relief, because you're like, and once that happens, as soon as I told her, all right, just to get it out of the way, turn left right here towards HEB on Wooded Acres on Lake Air. And I'm like, turn left. And as soon as she hits that blinker to turn left, that Durango cuts across all the way across and gets in there. As soon as we turn on the road, it turns on it didn't turn some sirens. It was like real loud, and then it says over the mic, it says pull over into the parking lot. And when we pull over there,
you said it wasn't a siren. Was it like a blowhorn or something?
It was like a obnoxious noise. It wasn't a siren, and they didn't have lights either. But it was just like. And you hear about Mexico. I'm like, damn, they're coming over here to the United States.
Okay, damn.
And now we pull into the HEB parking. I'm sure my brother told me there was a video about somebody getting caught by immigration.
We need to Google it. Was that you?
We need to find it. I don't know. I didn't see. I've never.
We're gonna Google it. Google it. Somebody Google it and send it to me. Go ahead.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah, please.
We pull in there, man. And as soon as we pull in there, there's a couple of Chargers, a couple of Suburbans. So they come in hard, man. Like I thought I was riding with the chopper.
Like you cut somebody up just now, right?
Yeah, like if I just had murdered somebody.
Oh my goodness.
And then they come in, man. They have rifles and everything. They're like, Israel Salazar, step out the vehicle, and I'm like, man, my kids are in the back seat. Like,
I bet they're scared.
Yeah, my daughter was my daughter was a newborn, and my son was still young.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my son's over there crying because they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah.
And we I get out the vehicle. I'm like, and they're like, oh, we're with Immigration and Customs.
Okay.
And we have a warrant for your arrest. And I'm like, what's the warrant for? Yeah. And we sent a letter for you to show up to court, and you didn't show up. I was like, I've never got a letter. So
we gonna pull up with rifles though, because I didn't show up to court. You know what I mean? And fucking bazookas and tanks. Like, are you serious?
I thought I was sneaking a chopper back across.
Okay, damn, Super Mario, what's up?
Oh my God. And they take me, man. They're like, okay, you have to see a judge and they tell me you're gonna be out by the weekend. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not too bad.
It's okay. Daddy's gonna take a little vacation.
Yeah,
okay.
We're gonna sit a few days
with other men.
I was like, Andrew, come trade places.
Yeah, please. I'm in.
Tag me.
Who do I have to kill? Let's go.
I did it. It was my marijuana.
It was my weed. Anyway.
No, and they take me downtown, man. They have a lot of people don't know this, but they have a holding cell here for immigration.
Oh, okay.
They have a whole cell here of like immigration and customs officers. Yeah. And they take me down there, and they're like, okay, you have to go to Pearsall. I'm like, Pearsall? I was like, Where's Pearsall? Yeah. They're like, down by the border. I'm like, I thought I was gonna see a judge. Damn. They're like, no, the judges are in Pearsall. They're over there in South Texas. And then I was like, no, they didn't tell me all this. I was like, right. Yeah. And man, and they shipped me down there the same day. I get out there about all was this about 8 a.m.
Right,
so I get out there about 2 p.m.
Okay.
And man, they put us in these ice boxes, man. They
ice boxes.
Yeah, that's what they call.
Can you explain to us what an ice box is?
A lot of they call them ice boxes because they're a big holding cell, and they're almost similar to the ones here in Highway 6, but they're just real large. And the people that are coming in, they just throw them in there, And the reason they call them ice boxes is because they're freezing.
Okay.
They're like in there. You go in there like with shorts and stuff. They don't give you a blanket or anything until you get checked in.
Oh,
and it took me 8 hours for them to check me in.
It's cold.
Yeah, 8 hours of just sitting there.
You know what? Let me ask you a question just to kind of not diverse, but kind of go back for a second. Do you think, I mean, obviously we all know the answer to this question, but do you think that the way that they arrested you was a little bit extra as opposed to the way they arrest a person that does something worse like a pedophile? I know people that have done way worse than carry marijuana or miss a court date. And they go to their house, knock on the door and say, hey, you're going to jail. Come on. I mean, these people swarmed you with AK-47s and bazookas and pistols and the army. And so do you think that was just a little bit extra the way they proceeded with that?
I believe that was way too much the way
they
did it.
And I think a lot of people would agree.
If I would, I've been through immigration before when I was younger. And all they did was send a letter. I showed up to every court date.
Right.
I went through all the hoops they asked me to go jump through. And I was there every single time. So all they had to do was to do the same thing. The address hadn't changed or everything.
Right.
All they had to do was send me a letter. You have to present yourself on a certain day. And I would have been there because that's something big. Obviously I didn't want to get picked up.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to say too, because I think that's what people misunderstand is that there's obviously people who are for immigration. Like I will say I am for immigration. There's people who are not for immigration, which that's fine too. Like I don't hate you for that. But what I'm saying, it's the way that they arrested you. Like you were with your family. You were just going to work or going to HEB. Like, damn, can I get some sushi first? You know what I mean? I really wanted the pot stickers.
Let me eat breakfast.
Okay, damn. Okay, I was gonna get McGriddles. Like, isn't McDonald's next door to HEB?
The bad thing is you just missed breakfast, so you got to go all the way to lunch.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is for them, like, and I don't want to make this about an immigration versus American thing, but the fact that it was like it started from a weed charge and then you missed a court date versus somebody who molested a child or almost killed somebody. The way that they arrested you, it just seems like it's just so extra as opposed to somebody like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Which to me doesn't sit well, is what I'm saying.
Thought I was a menace or something, man.
I mean, damn, it was like, holy shit. Like no. Fucking machine guns, damn. Okay, the tank in the background making a left. Like, no, like, get the fuck out of here.
All they had to send was one person.
Shit, you should have just punched Tyler in the face. You probably would have got like away with it a lot easier. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're good.
You're good. No, you're good. Okay,
you're American. You're American.
Yeah. Okay, so you get taken to the icebox, right? Yes, and so you're under the impression that like, okay, this is gonna be a weekend thing, even though I'm in South Texas by now. You know what it is? So it's not looking good. So how did it get prolonged?
When I realized it wasn't gonna be there, I started asking the detention officers, how long do people last in here? They're like, about 15 days to a month in here. And I'm like, 15 days to a month?
Yeah.
Like, man, I can't be in here.
Like, bro, I got work tomorrow. Like, what you mean?
I gotta work, man. I gotta start a job.
And,
and then when I realized that, I was like, oh, man, I have to go through all the process from the beginning.
Okay.
Which I had already gone through years prior when I got my Dream Act, when I had the
Okay.
So yeah, man, and they took me to the back, and the next day I was like, I was scared. First they took me to my celly, and my celly was from Afghanistan or something, and I'm like,
okay.
And I was like, that's what did I do to get put in the cell? But he was a real friendly guy. But,
what's his name? Should I give him a shout out?
Ahmed.
Shout out Ahmed. What's up, Ahmed? Is he hot?
No, he was older.
What am I saying? Yeah, I got him. No, go ahead. Sorry. Okay.
Reverse psychology, right there.
But I'm thinking, okay, because I cited a couple episodes that my type is like Mexicans that need papers. Not like obviously you, but like I'm pretty sure immigration prisons where I'm gonna find the love of my life.
See, that's all you gotta do. All you gotta
do is go to the immigration prison.
Call immigration. Hey, I don't have papers, and then just get deported.
Well, I have to use your name.
Oh,
okay. Because they're gonna find out that I have papers and a successful podcast. But I think that the love of my life is in an immigration prison. That's it.
Oh, yeah. They got these apps where you can talk to them now.
Get the fuck out of here. No, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Hold on.
You can FaceTime them now and everything.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm serious.
Israel, don't fucking play with me. When we're done, I'll download that shit right now.
Pause episode.
It's Grindr account. Not on Grindr. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, so you met Ahmed. Okay, you're Sally. Okay.
And I made the dumb decision when I went in there. I snuck a phone in there, man. And
how'd you do that?
It wasn't hard. It wasn't like
did you shove it up your ass? Yes or no?
I wanted. That's the first thing I want to clarify. I didn't sneak it up my ass.
Because if that was me, I would have been like, I got it. It's nothing. You know what I mean?
Anybody else?
Anybody else want their phones? Like, okay, I'm doing 2-for-1 specials right now. Just
give me 10 suits. I'll get your phone.
How did you sneak your phone in jail?
It wasn't hard, man.
And it's okay to talk about it now because
in there you can take a gun. It wouldn't be hard, man. Like in there, they take all your possessions. Like when I got arrested here, they took my phone. They took everything.
Yeah.
But they give the box back to you. Like they hand the box back to you. Like
wow.
And once they give you that box, I was just like, Okay, and I asked a guy that I was with. He's been there before. I asked him. I was
so
like,
he's a pro. He's like,
He's like, hey, you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I asked him. I was like, do they check you once you get checked already?
Right.
He's like, no, you're just gonna go in there. They're gonna take you a bath, and you go to the back.
Oh shit. So, okay, hold on. Well, let me get my J's in there.
I got my phone. I got my shank.
The Switch. Okay, hold on. Wait. Well, the new Pokemon just came out, so we'll just go ahead and make that last as long as it will. And then
I got my Uno cards out.
Okay, what the hell? So it was just that simple to just smuggle things in.
And it was. And I put my phone. I put it in my sock, man, and I took it in, man. Like nothing.
Are you sure you didn't shove it up your ass?
Nah,
your sock sounds a little bit too sketch.
Too easy.
It sounds too easy because I would have shoved it up my ass. It'd have been nothing. Okay.
Even if we had other options, like
I'd have been like, well, are you sure you want to put it in the socks because the ass? It's been there. It's been there, done that. Yes. Okay. We might have to just wipe it off a little, but we good. Okay. I did douche before this. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that's not funny. Yeah, it is. No. So basically, we just take something like this is not my phone, but Mike just gave it to me, and so we like. So basically, you just take your phone. I'm not buying that. You put it in your sock. I'm sorry.
I want to know why you carry one of these phones with you, man. I want to know why you have one.
My producer gave it to me during our break, and
I didn't even see where you pulled that out.
No, listen, I can do 3 of these. Okay, 3. I might do 4. Okay,
depending how much you have to.
Okay, 4 flip phones, an iPhone, and an Android. Let's go. We're in. Okay,
challenge accepted.
Yeah, and then Israel will do the socks, and then I got everybody else. Wait, no, you're not gonna shove it up your ass. Okay, I'm sorry. Shout out to whoever's phone this is. All right. Okay, so it's hot in here now. Woo! Yeah. Anyway, okay. So getting back to you're in the prison, okay, and then you don't shove your phone up your ass. You take it in with you. First of all, how did you get away with having your phone in there for so long? And did you get caught?
See, I didn't last long, man. It wasn't too long. It was like a few weeks. But
did you get to watch porn? That's a yes. Okay, go ahead.
The first thing I thought of, I was like, man, how am I gonna charge him? And I sat there at like 2. I would wait till like 2, 3 in the morning when everybody was asleep.
Okay.
And luckily I was in the furthest corner, so I could hear when the guards would be coming. And I would sit there and I would wait. Like I would be like, how to charge your phone with AA batteries? Are
you serious?
Yes. I sat there.
Oh, so it was that long ago where your phone was being charged by AA batteries?
No. It was an iPhone. It was an iPhone.
Yeah, okay,
it was
got
an
you.
iPhone SE. It was a smaller iPhone. So.
Even easier. Okay, go ahead.
And still no asshole. Still no asshole involved.
Moving on from the ass.
and it was a smaller iPhone, so it wasn't too hard to conceal.
Okay.
And man, just one day out of nowhere, man, I'm down there talking on the phone, and a bunch of guards just coming in like just back to back. And they go up the stairs, and I'm like, I was talking on the phone with Tyler. I was like, damn. I was like, I think they know.
Oh,
and they go up there. Who's in cell 209? I'm like me and Ahmed. Ahmed is like he was there for like 2 years prior. I got there, so everybody knew Ahmed. Like me and Ahmed. So right away, the Ahmed was just like they didn't even bother Ahmed.
Oh really? Nah, you good?
They came right after me. Israel Salazar. I'm like, okay. They get against the wall and they searched me and everything.
Oh wow.
Like, okay, I knew what it was, So
did you just surrender at that point? You were just like, here.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I told Tyler, I'll talk to you whenever I don't know how.
I'm gonna call you back.
I need you to pay my phone bill. No, don't. Hey, remember that phone bill I told you to pay?
Yeah. Don't pay it. You get let AT&T know what's up.
And ask them if they have like a jail where you don't have to pay.
Yeah, for real. Okay.
No, and then
so they find the phone.
They found the phone, man. They took me to the bag, and that's when like everything you do in the immigration, they don't care what you do, man. You're just there. They're just there babysitting.
Okay, got you.
If you get in a fight, there's nothing that affects you.
So it almost seems like it's just pointless. Yeah. If you're not doing anything, you know what I mean.
You're like people get in fights all the time. They send them to the whole week. You're back. It doesn't affect you. Like if you were like in an actual in a TDC, you would get in trouble for that. You would get time more time.
Right.
But there you're just waiting to get deported. So there you're just like you got nothing to lose basically.
So is that the difference between an immigration prison and a regular prison? Because I've had people in here, like I had Homer Fajardo on this episode, Angelo Fajardo's dad, and Adrian Fajardo's. He was in prison for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, he was giving us the whole lowdown about how the prison system works and everything that they had to go through. And there was gangs and you have to belong to this group. Was the immigration prison similar to that? Or have you ever been in regular prison to even know?
Not to regular prison. I've been here to Highway 6, but it's not compared. But I've heard stories, and I've heard like people that were there. There are people that were coming from 5 or 10 years of actual state prison. Okay. So I heard a lot of stories in there. You have time to talk, and it is a bit different because there are people who are on their way out. So people are like once they do serve their time up here in state prison or whatever, they send them there and they're gonna ship them out to Mexico, Honduras, or wherever.
Right.
So there, you really don't have anything else to lose. You know, like there, you're getting deported no matter what. And there's like people like me who actually have a chance to but it's like 100 people that actually have a chance to get deported. They're deported one person a month gets released here in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
So so you're in the prison, right? And then do you thinking that your chances are good though because you were pretty much raised here and you pretty much lived your whole life in Waco? I mean, from 5 years old to the time you got arrested, that's pretty much your entire life. So do you think that the odds were in your favor in the beginning, or were you still like a little? I don't know.
I was scared, man. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting in that hole, I was scared because I was like, man, just I need to get out of here. I can't do this. I need to. I'm not made for this. And,
where do they drop you off in Mexico if you do get deported?
They just throw you across. They have like a little ramp where they just got like where you walk through.
And you're just like, here you go.
You're on your own.
Call your taxi.
They give you money for taxi.
Can I have my phone back so I can call Uber? Or you know what I mean?
No,
did you shove it up your ass? Like
they just throw you, man. That's where.
Really? Okay. I thought there was like a center or something.
And that's where all the like the bad guys are waiting for you. Now if they see somebody like that guy's been there, like he speaks English and everything. They're gonna think you have family up here that has money or they have everything. So that's what they're looking for, man. A lot of people that get kidnapped over there. One of my cousins that I was actually with me over there in immigration, he actually got deported and got picked up by his dad had to pay a good amount of money to get for him.
Who did he get picked up? Was it like a gang?
Yeah, it was one of the cartels down there.
Well, I don't know if like the cartel guy is kind of hot. I'd be like, yeah, I guess we can make this work.
Do what you have to do.
Listen, if I'm ever in a situation like that, I know when I went to Mexico, I mean, we were in some sketchy situations where it was like people were harassing us to give them our things, and I was like, listen, I'll go behind the rocks and suck some dick. I don't give a fuck. You're
gonna be like the guy from South Park. Go ahead and have your way with me.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like I do this in America. You think I can't do it here? Let's go, bitch.
You're gonna be like, you know what? Just let him go.
He's gay. He's gay.
It doesn't work out if he's gay.
It's not the same. He has to I'll act like I'm unwilling too. I don't give a fuck. Because some of the people that were harassing us, I was like, hey, I mean,
a little tighter, please. A little tighter.
Well, I'm not going to give you my PlayStation, but no. Okay. So no, I didn't know that though, honestly, because I thought that when you did get deported, and again, I don't know, but I guess imagine that if you got deported, they took you to like a center or something, and it was like, okay, now you're here, now you have to deal with the Mexican government or whatever government, you know what I mean? And then they'll figure out what they're going to do with you. So they just literally just drop you off in the middle of some.
The best they do is give you half the money of a ticket to a bus ride to wherever you're from.
Really?
So if you're from Monterrey, Mexico, or Luis, they give you half of that fare for you to get over there. You got to pay the other half.
But from the prison to the place?
From the border, right across.
From the border. Okay.
Yeah, you got to go contact.
Because I be calling my family like, yo, okay, so I'm gonna be right here in just a minute, and we finna.
And that's what I had planned, man. I was like, to be honest, I had given up hope, man. I was like, man, I'm not gonna make it out of here. They're gonna because I had already gone through immigration. So I was like, a second time.
You're like second time you're out. Okay, gotcha.
I'm out, so I told Tyler, I was like, hey, we need to sell our stuff. I guess I'm gonna go to Mexico for a while.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And she was like, no, don't do it. And then she went to talk to a lawyer, and they were like, man, marijuana is worse. Like, I mean, any type of drug is worse. Like there's people there like for all kinds of things, but anything drug related is they take that serious over there.
Really?
Any amount.
Oh my god!
It can be 2 pounds. It can be a gram. They're gonna as long as that's
2 pounds sounds like it's a lot. Yeah.
And yeah.
How did Tyler fare in all of this? I mean, so because you have a wife who's an American citizen, and then you guys have at the time it was 2 children.
3.
3 children. You guys have 4 now, right?
4 now.
Okay, so at the time you had 3 children. So how was she able to, I guess, cope with the fact that you were going through this, and now she, like what was on her end?
See, she's always been a stay-at-home mother, which I appreciate.
Great. Okay.
She's always stayed home and take care of the kids, and my job is to go to work, and provide for them because 4 kids is a lot of kids to maintain. And one of them is a lot hard.
And if y'all don't know Tyler, I don't know how she pushed out no damn 4 kids. She's this big around. Like, I want that body. Like,
Yeah, everybody tells her that. Like,
yeah, seriously. Damn.
Was a doctor the other day? She's like, I had 4 kids. 4 kids?
Yeah, I thought she was one of your kids the first time I met her. I was like, oh, that's not your teenage daughter?
No, and we were scared, man, because like we had a little money saved up, but like I knew that was all going to go towards me having commissary,
right.
The lawyers, all that stuff.
Okay.
And the bills, obviously,
Right.
So the first thing she had to do was go look for a job. She had to go, find a job, and that's I know it's pretty tough because she's never really had
to work. Yeah.
So now and I I'm thankful that she was able to find a babysitter.
So she held it down.
Yeah. And she would always that's one thing that got me through it. I was able to talk to her all the time.
Yeah.
I would sit. They would only have 2 phones in the hole. And I would sit there for hours just talking on the phone for hours. I'd be like, pass the phone. I'm like, no, get her.
No, you didn't shove yours up your ass like I did. What's up? Okay. Fuck that.
Let me give you a recommendation.
Hey, man. But you know what? And I think you told me this too. Shout out to Sid, the barber. Who's my barber? Didn't he take care of the haircuts for the kids?
Yeah, he would cut my son's hair no charge, man. I appreciate it. And not only that, man. Once when you go through immigration, you gotta have sponsorship in sponsors that are American citizens. Okay. You gotta reach out to the community, the people that you know, and tell them to write letters. They're like, why does he deserve to be here?
I sponsor an immigrant, so I know how that works.
Yeah. And that takes a lot. And Sid was one of the ones that wrote a letter for me.
Good.
And he wrote a real
love Sid. Shout out to Sid the barber. Elite Barbershop, darling. He would drive. I'd come in later.
Both of us.
Yeah, man. That's what we play kickball with. Okay. So, and shout out to Tyler too for really holding it down. I'm sure that wasn't an easy process for her to go through.
With 3 kids.
With 3 kids, no, screw it. Oh, I bet you couldn't wait to make another kid.
That's what we did when we.
Yeah. Okay. He was like, get over here. No. Okay, the porno was out. Okay. So, no. Okay. So when you got in trouble for the phone, did you spend any time in the hole? And why don't you explain to us what the hole is? Is that like that's like the segregation, right?
Yeah, segregation. Okay. That's they take everything from you. You can't have any commissary. You can't have you only get the food that they give you there. You get and books, and that's when I actually got into reading. Reading a lot of books. It actually does take up a lot of your time. Right. So you can take your minds off of things, because a lot of people think, oh, it's just jail. But you're just so used to being out here and walking around.
Right. Yeah. And then it's free.
And like this is your world right here. Like a room like this size. This is how.
This is segregation.
Yeah. This
except the microphones and the tablet.
Except the microphones.
Unless I shove it up my
the phones, the tables, and the electronics.
Yeah.
Something similar.
So how long were you in the hole?
3 months. I had to
3 months for the phone because of the phone.
Yeah.
Wow. What the hell did you do?
I was just reading books, man. You get out.
Oh, you get books.
You get out 1 hour a day. You get out 1 hour, 30 minutes to exercise and 30 minutes for a TV. So 23 hours a day, you're in your cell just reading books.
Wow.
And man, I was going crazy. I'm not gonna lie. There was
yeah.
And a lot of people there, they start losing it, man. And and the only thing that the people do is they give you pills to sleep.
Okay.
And a lot of people come out addicted to those pills, man. They bring you down. They're trying to bring you down so you won't have a lot of energy.
Okay.
So they were like, I told them, hey, man, I can't sleep. I'm having trouble like focusing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, we can give you these medicines for you to fall asleep. I'm like, okay. I can't do that. I'm not gonna take the pills, and there would be times at 2-3 in the morning I couldn't sleep, man.
Wow, really?
It messes with you, man. And,
I mean, but it's not like you got anything else to do the next day, like I mean, like you can catch up and sleep. No, but like I mean, I guess I wanted to when I watched Law and Order SVU, and so I watched an episode where the guy like went to the hole or whatever, and he said keep me in here for the weekend, and he said that it felt like so much time had went by. He was crazy when they unlocked it. So do you still feel the effects of that today? There's a lot of people who suffer like a PTSD behind that, See,
it did for like a few months. I wouldn't get out the room. Tyler would tell me, get out the room, like go,
Okay, girl, it's not like I can't just walk out.
And I was like, I gotta call and ask for permission first. To take me out, I gotta go watch TV.
Yeah,
no, man, I'm
trying to watch The View.
And it did for a while, but I mean, I'm back to normal now. It's been a few years. Yeah, it was a crazy time in there, man. And it was my own fault for putting myself in that situation, but as far as being there, and the thing is, I shouldn't have been there that long, because people there are usually there for a month. They wait for their court date, and either they get deported or they get here. And at that point, I was already there for about 6 months. That's
wow, okay.
I didn't have no court date and anything. And
so you were in the prison for 6 months, and it was, mind you, it was only supposed to be for a weekend. So you hadn't heard nothing about, hey, this is when you're going to court. This is when we're like nothing.
And my lawyers would try to contact immigration, but they would never write anything back. They have to write a form in and turn it in for you to request a court date, and they were doing it back to back to back to back.
Wow.
Tyler was calling immigration, like the offices there.
I mean,
no, they were like, oh, we can't give you any information or anything like that.
I'm tired of working at McDonald's. Like, my man has got to get out.
Once they wouldn't give me any information, so I had to go on a hunger strike in order for
what? No way.
Yeah, for me to actually talk to an ICE agent, I had to go on a hunger strike for 3 days. And
now why resort to a hunger strike?
Because they're supposedly they have these kites. You can write it. Okay, I want to speak to immigration officer about my case.
Right.
For like a month straight, I wrote it. Same thing. And they not one time did they come in to talk to me about it.
Oh wow.
And so I was like, man, I have to talk, because 6 months. Come on, man.
So did you go on the hunger strike though because you felt like they weren't recognizing you as like, hey, I need some assistance here? Yeah, and so it's like, well, maybe if I don't eat, then they'll come. Because then if I die from hunger, it's gonna be your fault.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And then it took them 3 days for them to come talk to me.
And you didn't eat nothing for 3 days. Oh my God.
Thanks.
I mean, you snuck some Cheetos in. Come on.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you snuck some Cheetos. Okay, because I would die. Like,
And finally, ICE came and talked to me, and they were like, "Oh, the reason that they haven't gave you a court date is because there's some you were here before, you got released on bond, and you didn't show up to court."
Oh wow.
And I was like, I've never been here before. They were like, yeah, you were here back in 2009, and you got released on bond, and I was like, in 2009, I was in high school. I was like,
you were a minor.
Yeah, I was a minor. I was like, do y'all arrest minors here? They were were like, no, we don't. I was like, so how was I here in 2009?
Right.
So he was like, okay. He went and finally they went. They got my attention and they went out there and finally investigated. They were like, okay, yeah, it's not you. So now we actually have to send your docket to get a court date. And they were like, they could take the 4 to 6 weeks. I was
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, you got to be kidding me.
At what point when you were in the immigration prison did you realize, okay, I'm gonna be here for a minute? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is actually getting prolonged. What, like, you know what I mean? Like, what point did you say, all right, we're gonna be here a minute?
After the 3rd month, I was like, okay.
After getting out of the hole?
I was still in the hole when I realized. I was like, okay. I was like, why haven't I received everything? People were people were coming in and like getting out, getting released, getting their court date, and I was like, when's my court date? When's my court date? And then my lawyer wasn't getting any information either. Huh. And finally
for a marijuana charge.
And finally the day came, and I remember hearing that day your court date is scheduled for September 28th. Yeah. And when I heard that on the phone, I was like, "Oh man!" It was still it was like 2 months ahead.
Oh wow! Okay.
It was like 2 months. I was like, "Oh man, we finally."
So now it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to.
Okay, got you.
And then when that day came, they were like, "Okay, we don't have enough information on you. We're gonna have to reschedule you."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, waited this long for this?"
Yeah.
And no, man, they and another month went by, and they were like, okay. And when that month went by, they were like, okay, the reason we're here for this court is to schedule a bond hearing for you. Yeah. I'm like, so I have to wait for another hearing for me? I was like, no. Oh my God.
Damn, can y'all buy me some clothes? But what was being in the prison like? Like, were you ever in a situation that was kind of sticky? Like, again, when I spoke to Homer Fajardo, he had mentioned that like shortly after he got there were people coming up to him and saying, you need to choose a side who you're hanging out with, or we're going to jump you, this and that there was a lot of violence. Would you say that a lot of that went on there as well?
Yeah, man, there was a good amount of violence. Okay. Not as much as you would see like on state prisons and everything like that, but there is still a lot going on because a lot of people there are already frustrated that they're like, that they're getting sent out of here. Yeah. So they can go in there, punch a guard, and they're still going to get released and sent to wherever they're going to get sent to.
Oh wow, okay.
So people there don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
And the reason I actually got lucky because the day that I went in there, there was a seat open at the table, at the main table, if you would call it. Like that's where everybody like the main guys would sit there. Like,
the head honchos,
basically. And
I would have went straight for that table.
And I was looking around. I was like, oh shit, where do I sit?
Yeah.
And one of the guys I had actually met him, on the way over there.
Okay.
He was like, hey, come on, sit over here. I sat down, and right away I could tell that was gonna be a crazy table. There was a guy there with Chucky dolls tatted on him.
Oh wow.
All on his faces and stuff like that. Like guys from Honduras.
That's a little scary. Yeah. MS-13 and shit.
Yeah, 18th Street and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, is this what it's gonna be like? But I actually got lucky, and they introduced, and they were like, okay, you're gonna be one of us and shit. Okay. And it wasn't really a gang or anything like that, but it was a group.
Was there initiation?
No, there was no. The only initiation was as soon as you go in there, they all go run into your cell, and they're like, give me this, and you're just sitting there like, oh shit. And then right when that's over, like they just want to see how you react.
Oh, okay.
And then once that's over, they're like, oh, we're just fucking with you.
Oh, okay. Were you like tough about it though? Were you like, no, I'm not giving you that?
I was just like,
call it off, okay.
God.
Okay, I'll be snitching. Like, excuse me.
No, and they did that. And when they did that, I was just like, oh, I didn't pay no mind to it.
Yeah.
And but they were just like, oh, I'm just kidding. But and then I remember when we did it one time, we did it to a guy, and we went in there, and he was like, and it actually it caused a lot of trouble, man. Because we went in there, and that guy was actually from a gang, And
okay.
We went in there, and they were like, he was like, give me your shit. He's like, no, man, you're gonna have to take it. And then one of the guys that was with us, he was in another gang,
right?
And he took that offensive.
Oh,
he was
wow.
Like, he was like, oh, well, what gang are you from? And he told him, and he was like, oh, well, y'all. He told us, y'all get out. We're gonna have to, And they knuckled it out.
Well,
in there,
I was gonna say, what are they gonna have to do? I mean, wait, I want to stay.
What, you think they're gonna have a sexy party?
Okay, yeah, I'm in. Okay,
room for one more?
Absolutely. There's always room for one more, darling. We just keep it between us. No, were you ever, but like, how about you personally? Were you ever in a situation in the prison that was like threatening to your life or anything?
Man, there was one time that I was in, we were playing soccer outside, man. Yeah. It was with this Guatemalan. It was on Christmas Eve day.
Wow.
It was on Christmas Eve day, and we were playing, and I didn't like the way he was playing, man. I was like, hey man, you need to calm down, because we were playing
against. He was playing rough.
Yeah, we were playing
I sponsor a soccer team, so I see that shit all the time. They be fighting for no reason.
And there's a wall and like stuff like that. He was like running into him and stuff.
Yeah,
hitting him hard. I was like, hey man, chill out, man. These guys ain't gonna tell you nothing, but but we will. And he still kept going. And then he came up and hit me. And he was like, this and that. And then I kicked the ball hard towards him, like, And it's a small field, So and I almost hit him. He's like, hey man, why are you doing that for? I was like, well, you over here doing this to other people.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, if you got a problem with me, let me know. And I was like, if you got a problem, well, we can go catch a cell. And that's what you normally.
Oh, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you know. You don't do it in front of the guards,
Noted. Okay. Let's go catch yourself.
And you go, and I was like, all right. And then he was like, nah, he's like, you know, all that.
Let's forget it, yeah.
So, and we keep playing, and I turn around and look at the ball, and next thing I know, he turns around and paws me right in the mouth.
No.
Yeah, he paused.
Sucker punch?
I was playing goalie, and he comes and hits me, man. And then like by that time, you know, everybody's like, you know, all the Jills and everything come in and stuff. So he hit me one time, and I was like, "Fuck!" And he got me a pretty good.
Yeah, he got you good. Yeah, I can see the busted lip right now. This
is for baseball. Okay. And
so what was the process for you when you finally got out? Like, how did you feel? Like, what did you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, what was life like afterwards?
Man, when I finally got my bond hearing and here my lawyer, he was telling me, he's like, we're gonna get you out here, man. Today's the day. Today's the day. He came in real early, like 5:30 in the morning to get me. He was like, this is the day, man. I'm pretty confident. Okay. I got the marijuana charge dismissed. You're good.
Oh, good. Okay. The only shit. Yeah, but thanks.
It was 10 months later, but okay.
Did you fucking smoke it or like?
And he was like, okay, and we went to that bond hearing, man. And the judge that I had, he's known for the name El Diablo.
Oh.
And actually, what happened with him? An illegal drunk driver actually, you know, killed his daughter.
Oh no!
So he actually has.
He had no tolerance.
He had no tolerance, man. And when I heard that, I was like, everybody was like, "Don't get four, don't get four." Like we had a choice. And they gave me him, man, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm screwed. I'm screwed."
Okay.
And you can tell, you know, he was, you know. And when I went to court, they were like, okay, you know, the whatever you would call the district or whatever. They were like, okay, he's here for so and so. He's here so and so.
Just naming your charges.
Naming my charges and stuff, and like everything. They name everything you've done since high school. Everything.
Damn, shit. You know what color underwear I was wearing too?
And he was like, okay. And that's when my lawyer came in. I was pissed off at my lawyer because he took so long. He was like just stalling,
you didn't even want to see,
stalling month after month. And I was mad, man. I was ready to like, you know, say screw him. Like, try to something else. And he came in. He was like, and I was looking at him, and he was like, "Oh, my client, you know, he got possession of marijuana, but he's been here all his life. I had letters from Sid. Yes. I had letters from my daughter's school teachers, from my kids' doctors, from everybody. Because I was involved in everything from sports.
It's great to know that many people can really have your back in the time of need too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for sure. Shout out to
because everybody would ask, "Where's their dad? Where's their dad?"
Yeah, for sure.
And she would have to tell them, you know, because it did affect them a lot, you know.
Wow.
And the doctor actually said that when my daughter was a newborn, she would go up to like just hard stuff and hit her head like real hard.
Oh wow.
And they actually said that it was like from stress of not seeing me anymore. Like out of nowhere.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it does affect a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't see that either. They just view you as an illegal immigrant that crossed here. You need to get the fuck out no matter what circumstances. But at the end of the day, you still have a family that's being raised here. You're a working man, you know, who runs a business with a wife and kids. You know what I mean?
I paid all my taxes.
So you're really no different than an American citizen, besides the fact at the time that you didn't have papers.
See, a lot of people from my charge, they just get a slap on the wrist and you're good to go. And yeah, man. And then that day, my lawyer came out, man. He came out swinging. He came out.
Really?
Yeah, he came out and then
he was like, hold my beer.
Yeah, he was like, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I was just sitting there.
Where the fuck was that 10 months ago? Damn.
I was just sitting there.
Did you get fucked last night or what? Okay.
Andrew, thank you. Andrew.
Okay. I took one for the team. Oh, don't worry. He's on his way.
Oh, yeah. And then finally he was like, I highly recommend you give my client bond because he's not he's not a threat to society or anything. And as soon as that judge said, he was like, "Well, I see no problem with granting my client bond."
Okay.
Man, my daughter back there started screaming. Yeah, she started screaming.
How old was your daughter at the time?
She was 6.
She was 6. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, she was, and she started screaming and
Did
crying.
you get to hug her?
No, we still couldn't touch.
You couldn't touch. Okay.
From those 10 months, the only time I got to touch him was when me and Tyler got married, and I was there 6 months.
Oh, so you got married while you were in prison?
I got married while I was in jail, and that's the only time I got to touch him. They don't have no consent.
That's okay.
And every time
it's not okay, but you know,
that's
great. Yeah, that's great. Is what I meant. Yeah, okay.
And that's how it all worked out, man. Okay. And he finally got me out of here. I went through my courts and everything.
Wow.
And I'm actually, they gave me my court 2 years later, and I actually have to go in December.
Oh, okay. So you're going this December just to kind of check in, like I'm still not on
for the final answer, but like it's if you stay out of trouble, if everything's good,
right.
I mean, Tyler's an American citizen, you know. She doesn't even speak Spanish, you know.
Yeah.
And 4 of my kids are U.S. citizens.
And you already got in trouble for the phone, so we can talk about that for shoving the phone up your ass. And so
no,
you didn't shove it up his ass. Fine. Okay. You know what, man? Listen. I had no doubt. I've known you for a couple years at least, and I had no doubt that you are an outstanding or an upstanding citizen here. You know, human at that. I don't know you to cause trouble. We all make mistakes. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, for me to hear your story, it just sounded very. it sounded like your process was very unfair. And I said this before, versus somebody who is from here who's done a lot worse. Like, again, I know a person that turned out to be a pedophile. And I know that person was at his house when they arrested him. They knocked on the door and took him, you know, like very calmly.
Can you put your clothes on?
Yeah, like, hey, can you go ahead and do this? And, you know, this. And with you, just to hear that, I'm not justifying. Marijuana is illegal. It's just the way it is. Do you know what I mean?
But not only that, man, is that they could have sent a letter and saying, okay, you show up to court.
Yeah.
You know, those 10 months, that's all taxpayer money right there.
Right, yeah.
That's all, you know, that's going out the trash. All because they didn't want to send me a letter and say, come on, show up on this day.
I really just want to, like, on my point of view, I really just want to use this as for people to hear it. Even you don't, I'm not making anybody agree with how you were treated or how the process works. I understand that there's jobs that need to be done and I understand that there's protocols, but the fact that you were being picked up on a marijuana charge with machine guns and spending 10 months in an immigration prison, that's dangerous, you know, regardless of how you look at it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think that we need to do better as a system.
Yeah, man,
you know what I mean?
It's a flawed system, man.
Yeah,
if you do your research, there's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of judges just go in there. They don't even look at your paperwork. They just throw it out. Yeah. Like, okay, deported.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, because again, the situation was different for you.
See, and this was around the time where the kids were getting separated at the border from their parents. You know, and then it's two sides to everything. You know, a lot of people were like, okay, why are they coming here? Why are they coming here if they know they're gonna get separated? I'm like, sometimes that's your only choice, man.
Right.
I actually met with a couple of people in there that got separated from their kids, and they told me their stories. Oh no, over there they're charging us to live there. Like the gangs over there, like if you live in a certain block, they're charging you to live just to live there. I'm like, you're already poor already enough, and the gangs are already charging you to live there. I'm like, I know why you're running away from the country. You know?
Yeah.
And it's not something that like, okay, you don't want to be poor anymore. You want you're scared for your life there. You know, there's over there the police have like, you know, initiated war against the gangs and stuff like that. And
you know, and again, as everything is different. You know what I mean? I know immigrants that have really come out here and built something really great for their family and built real estate and this and that and all that. You know what I mean? And just like there's people from this country, there's also people who come from out of the country that do wrong things, which maybe you should go ahead and go ahead and go. You know what I mean?
And I'm not completely against, you know, immigration. There is some stuff that needs to be tightened up. You know?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But as far as like, you know, there's some good people that are actually, you know, you know, good for the economy or good for the United States.
Yeah,
and like as far as us, like, you know, we're trying to get our company going. We're giving jobs to people. You know, we're doing, you know, what we can to help.
You build really great metal buildings.
Oh, thank you. We're trying, man. And like I remember the first one that I did, I didn't know, I had no clue how to put it up.
Oh, really?
He was like, okay, you're a welder, right? Yeah, you have experience putting buildings up. Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Yeah. What was the first thing you ate when you got out of prison?
The first thing, Whataburger.
Whataburger?
I stopped and I guess you're in there, you're so used to eating so little.
Yeah.
Like I stopped. I told Tyler, I was like, the first thing I'm gonna eat is Pizza Hut. But the first thing we ran on the highway was they released me like at midnight, and the first thing that we saw on the highway was Whataburger. I was like, let's get in there,
bro. The first thing, take me straight to Happy Walk. Like, no stops. Okay? I
don't care if it's 2 in the
morning. Call them. Call Mei Ling and tell her I want the pork fried rice.
Shout out to Mei Ling out there.
Okay, love Happy Walk. You know, unfortunately, we are running out of time. So I know there's so much more that we could have talked about. Is there anything that I'm missing, Israel? Is there another message that you want to get across here? Is there anything that we left out?
No, man. It's just for all the immigrants out there, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's an opportunity for everybody.
Okay.
Not only immigrants, for anybody, you know, regardless of where you're from. It's just treat everybody, you know, how you would want to be treated. I know a lot of people, it's easy to say, okay, stay over there, okay, you know, like do this and that. But it's because you're sitting on your couch watching like a 52-inch TV, drinking a mocha or whatever, you know.
A mocha frat from Starbucks.
Mocha from
Don't do me, okay?
These guys are thankful to pick up a water bottle.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's a tough situation, man. I understand that this is your country. This is our country. You know?
Right.
I find this is my country too.
For sure.
I was raised here, man.
I feel like you have a right to say that. You do.
I wasn't born here, but my kids are gonna be here.
Right.
My grandkids are gonna be here. I have no plan of moving to living in Mexico.
Yeah, for
Even
sure.
though it's a beautiful country, man. It's real beautiful, but it's just like this is me here.
You don't have the same opportunity in Mexico that you do here.
Yeah, I speak. Yeah. I'm more fluent with English and Spanish. I speak English good too. But it's just I've spoken it all my life.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But yeah, man, it's it's a tough situation.
I just hope that people really take from this episode, and especially somebody that's going through an immigration thing similar to you, and really just, keep your head up. I mean, we do live in a very trying, controversial time with things like that, and people, really stay hard to their opinions. And I'm not one for trying to change opinions. You can have your opinion all day. You know what I mean? I have family that is not for immigration. You know what I mean? And I have family that's ride hard, die. Me, I'm just kind of like the public fair. You know what I mean? So
it was just politics that brought
it's just politics
that brought the racism out in people, man. Okay. A lot of people say they're not racist, but
yeah, I mean, you can tell.
So that's a story. That's another story.
So what's the future looking like for you? Before we wrap up, I mean, so we still got Francisco and Sons, and we were actually supposed to record yesterday, and you were late because you were playing baseball. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about the baseball? You shout out your team.
We still love playing baseball. This is our team right here.
Okay.
We have a pretty decent team here in the Waco area. Yeah. We just like to compete, man.
Is there any hot guys on your team?
You gotta go. Y'all gotta go check out.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Y'all gotta go check it out. I don't judge our team, man.
Yeah.
Much love to my brothers out there in the field, but
I'm gonna go check it out. Well, Israel, man, I'm sorry that we are running out of time, but I'm really appreciative at the fact that you really did come back. We were able to share your story.
I had to. We had such a fun time.
We did. We had a fun time the first time. We couldn't air it because it was not as good. And so
we should make the bloopers out of it.
We should, right? No, you know what? One day in the future, how about in a year I'll release that episode if Mike says it's okay. Okay.
No, Max, he's gonna get your laptop.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, no, just delete. I don't know why you sent that shit to him. Delete it. Okay. No, well, Israel, man, thank you so much. I really have high hopes for you in the future. I really hope that Francisco and Sons will grow to the way you want it to be, because I know that's what feeds your family. That's your family company. Shout out to Tyler. Is she still doing Mamacita Couture?
Yeah, she's still doing that.
Okay, shout out to Mamacita Couture. You can find on Facebook. Tyler, shout out to you. It's really great to know you. I'm really happy to have you a part of my life as one of my really good friends. And
it was a pleasure, man. We need to get back there and play kickball again.
For sure. Man. Summertime's coming. Like, we got this, okay?
We're ready, man.
And I'm thinner.
Sid, when you watch this, set up a game.
Let's go, yeah. And I'm thinner now, so I can play shirtless volleyball. Okay, or kickball. Anyway, well, everybody, thank you guys so much again for your support of The Public Affair. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to subscribe right here. Don't forget to like this episode and share. Again, thank you to you, Israel, for coming through and sharing your story. And again, high hopes for you and your family, and all the love in the world to you. Thank you so much. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to a few more of our sponsors of this episode. Of course, to Elite Barbershops. Another shout out to Sid Rodriguez. He's located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the app or call the number on the screen to book your next hair appointment. That's why I look all hot on every single episode of The Public Affair, because Sid ain't gonna let me down. He also has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, and Santos Cordova over there making you look all hot and sexy for the weekend. Of course, the Soco Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training. They also have open play on occasional Friday nights. They also specialize in soccer training and fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez, Isaac, and London Carrillo. Isaac and Dominic are also Public Affair alumni with Wormy. George De Leon, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode. To Fatboy Michelada and Botana with Junior Banda, my boy. Oh my God, he made me and my family some micheladas the other day. Have you had a michelada from him yet?
I don't.
I'm buying you one. I'm gonna buy you one. They're so delicious. My family from Chicago came down. They loved it. They have the best michelada and Botana plates for yourself or for a party. They're locally operated. Make sure you get the best and not the rest. I'm gonna get you a Botana tray. I promise. They're good. I like rolling around in them. So thank you, Fatboy Michelada and Botana, my boy Junior Banda, and of course to Inspire Roofing and Home Improvement with Joe Olvera. He focuses on commercial and residential roofing. Also 25-year and 30-year shingle roofs and all exterior needs. Make sure you call the number on the screen for your next Inspire Roofing and Home Improvement. Joe Olvera, thank you so much for all you do with The Public Affair and for sponsoring. To everybody, again, thank you guys so much for helping me take The Public Affair to episode 39. We only got more coming. I love all your support. You guys, it never goes unnoticed. I love you all so much. I'm not going to shove this phone up my ass. And make sure you guys...
If he does, I'm going to be gone by the time.
And make sure you guys don't forget to always keep it between us.
I'm going to hide this remote. I'm going to hide this remote.
No, don't forget to always keep it between us. Mike, are you buying it?
You don't happen to have water here.
Yeah, let me see. let me.
Oh, you should have pulled that out. No, give me that.
No, this is going to be a blooper. It's going to be a blooper. Give me the fucking phone. Look, it's easy. All you do, just fold it up. You got to make sure it's closed, though. It's a little thick, but I've had thicker. And so...
I'll be like, no, Andrew, it was one of these.
Oh, even better. Like, we could do both. It's nothing.
Case and everything.
Oh, you bought the water. Okay.